Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we have another pick a card, and this is going to be what urgent message do you need to hear right now? So this is going to be a quick message. I actually only pulled one card out of each of my oracle decks, and I even have one tarot card per pile. So this is going to kind of be like a quick overall message that you need to hear right now. Perhaps it's going to provide you with some answers or maybe even clarification with your current situation. What I am going to pull, I am going to shuffle live are the C Melody Oracle cards that I have there, just to get some extra messages for you guys. So today's decks that I'm using, I have up here the Soul's Journey Oracle cards. We have the Angels and Ancestor Oracle cards, Energy Oracle, and the Animal Spirit. Okay, so if you need to, go ahead and pause the video on which pile you are feeling most drawn to. We have over here pile number 1, pile number 2, 3, and 4. If you prefer to choose with crystals, I will post crystals here in a second to kind of help with those of you who are a little bit more visual. As I mentioned, once you make your decision, you can go ahead and fast forward to your reading. I will have the timestamps listed below in the description box. Okay, so if you want to choose with crystals, then I'll be right back. Okay, so here we have our crystals laid out in front of each pile. So for pile number 1, we have a red goldstone crystal. This is probably one of my favorites. I just love the way the gold flecks shine through. We have a green adventurine. Pile number 3, we have tiger's eye. And then pile number 4, we have a clear quartz. Okay. So go ahead and take a moment if you need to. As I mentioned, all the timestamps will be listed down below, and I will see you guys at your pile selection. Hi, group 1. So if you selected the red goldstone crystal, then this is your reading. So we're going to go ahead and place this off to the side, and we're going to go ahead and flip over your cards and see what messages we have. So for your tarot card, we have the Temperance card in reverse. Oracle card, we have growth. Angel of strength. We have the starfish spirit, open to infinite possibility. And we have Father Sky, trust in the unknown. Okay, so what is your message, group 1? So there definitely seems to be a theme here as far as needing to just kind of trust, I feel like, in what you don't necessarily have all the answers to just yet. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because not only do you have a lot of messages coming through in the sense of just kind of trusting in not only yourself or your inner strength, but you also have trusting in the unknown, as we have here with the Father Sky card. So a lot of what this is telling you is that, whatever current situation you are finding yourself in that you feel like is very out of sorts or out of balance, and you're kind of trying to make sense of it, this is really trying to tell you that this is just kind of part of the growing process, okay? We don't always have the answers, just black and white explained to us right away, especially when we're dealing with certain situations. And sometimes it can really kind of test our patience, even test our will, so to speak. And in this sense, this really seems to kind of really remind you that you are stronger than you give yourself credit for, okay? Because of the situation kind of maybe weighing on you in the sense of just trying to figure out why it's happening this way, or, what the outcome is going to be, even if you can't quite see clearly what you're end result is going to be or what this possibility could lead to. This is just reminding you to just kind of trust and have a little bit of faith that things are going to work out the way that they are supposed to. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, with the Temperance card, this is really all about the typical sense of feeling imbalanced, right? So it might just feel like you might feel very anxious at this point. You might feel very overwhelmed, not quite knowing, as I mentioned earlier, like really what to do or what the right choice is for you right now at this point in time, because you are having a hard time seeing the bigger picture because you just feel really out of sorts. Okay. That's kind of like the best way that I can really like describe it for you. So, there definitely seems to be like a lot of stress, anxiety through this. Okay. Now, I do want to point out here with your growth card, this says, I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Okay. So I feel like this is just, again, reminding you that this is kind of part of your growing process. This is you, kind of stepping into this life lesson or this transition. Yeah, things are going to feel out of sorts maybe for a minute, but it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. Okay. Instead, you want to try to focus on what you can control, doing little things that are within your control and focus more so on that rather than things that are not. Okay. Now, with the Angel of Strength card, again, this just kind of speaks for itself, just reminding you to just have a little bit more faith in yourself and realizing how strong you truly are. And the calling upon the angel strength is what's going to kind of help you get through this. So if you need to meditate, pray, whatever it is that you feel calms you or gets you to that like safe space, and just kind of helps you get a little bit more grounded, is I think what's going to help you get through this tough time. Okay. Now the starfish spirit, as I mentioned, says open to infinite possibility. So again, just kind of allow yourself to be a little bit more open. Just because things feel very stressful, possibly at the moment right now, doesn't mean it has to stay that way. Kind of just open your mind to a little bit more of a different possibility. Maybe the way that you were hoping something would go isn't turning out that way because that's not the way that it could be. Something better could be coming out in turn for you. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind. And as the Father Sky card says, trust in the unknown. So again, this is just reminding you, trust that the universe has a divine plan for you, that there is something better than maybe what you were initially thinking would be available to you. Okay, now I do want to get you a couple more messages. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle a few of these. These are the Sea Melody Oracle cards. So just gonna shuffle these real fast. See if we get a few extra messages for you guys. So for group one, any extra messages for group one? Yep, we've got a couple here. So we have wild, believe in your otherworldly beauty, dance with the waves, and drink in the sunshine. Okay. And then the next one we have is recharge. There's nothing like a walk on the beach to soothe your soul. Okay, this is really important. As I mentioned, you feeling very stressed, feeling very anxious, do something to recharge yourself. Do something that's going to kind of help ease your mind. There's things that are going to be or feeling like they're out of your control. And if that's the case, you want to try to calm those nerves, calm that anxiety that we've got kind of going on here. Okay. And that's what's, I think, going to help you be a little bit more open to this new possibility. Okay. Let's see if anything else wants to come out for you guys. The other messages for my group one. All right. Last one, we have optimism. After each rainstorm, there will be clear skies. Yep. This is like the main message here that we have for you guys. Remain optimistic. So group one, that was your quick reading. Okay. This is just hopefully something to kind of help get you guys through this current situation. If you feel, if you've been feeling very anxious or very stressful as of late, this is just reminding you that this is just kind of a bump in the road, but there is a reason for it. There is a higher purpose, and this is calling for you to remain optimistic. Okay. Good things are coming. You just have to believe in yourself and trust into the unknown here. Okay. So that was your reading. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below if this resonated. I would love to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and consider giving it a thumbs up, as it truly helps out the channel. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we're going to move on to group number 2. Hi, group 2. So if you selected the green aventurine crystal, then this is your reading. So we're going to go ahead and see what is your message. So your tarot card, we have the 8 of Wands. Oracle card, we have the Angel of Love. Next, we have Adversity. The Bee Spirit, Sweet Results Await. And last one we have is Oracle, Wait for Important Information. Okay. And I am going to pull you guys some extra cards with the Sea Melody Oracle. So we're going to hold on to those until the very end. Okay, so sorry that we're kind of out of focus here. So, all right, guys, so group 2, let's see what your guys' message is here. So I kind of getting something a little bit more in regards to love here, which is really exciting. So let's start here with your tarot card. So you guys have the 8 of Wands. So I actually really love the 8 of Wands because this is all about forward movement. Oftentimes this really depicts, very, very fast things happening very quickly. Okay. And I feel like this could have a lot to do with a possible new love interest. We've got the Angel of Love here, so this does usually tend to represent romance, okay? And with the cards that we've got going on here, it definitely seems like this is a really good connection here, okay? I'm getting the sense that, we've got some definite chemistry here as far as like with this instant what's the word I'm looking for? As far as like the fact that you have this forward movement here, something that's happening very quickly here. So I feel like the overall message though is to just kind of be a little bit more cautious. Don't jump right all in just because it seems really great. Not that it isn't. It's just that there definitely seems to be a little bit of caution here, and as far as trying to get to know one another first before jumping all right in. Okay. Now, I do want to point out here with your Soul's Journey Oracle card, we have Adversity. So this says, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Okay. Now, I feel like for this in particular, this is probably the reason why it's telling you to hold on or to not just jump right in so quickly. Even though things might seem very fast paced, okay, or you might feel like this relationship, if you will, is kind of moving rather quickly. Okay. This is just reminding you that you don't want to just jump all right in without really knowing all the facts or knowing who the person is. Okay. The reason being is because if you have had issues in the past with previous relationships where you've kind of just jumped right in and then you end up finding that you guys don't really get along, or, they're just not the right fit for you. This is just reminding you that this is, kind of a pattern that needs to be, broken. You kind of need to stop that first. Instead of just jumping all in right away, you want to give yourself some time to really get to know the person and really get to know what it is that you want out of this situation as well. Okay. So if you are in a relationship with somebody, or you've been in a relationship for a while, because, again, this is a general reading. If you guys have been in a relationship, this might just mean that things might be moving at a rapid pace right now, or something quickly is coming your way in regards to your relationship. It doesn't mean that it's not going to work out well, because we definitely have a sweet outcome here. Okay. There's definitely a positive outcome with this situation. It just means you want to wait for all of the information before you dive right in. Okay. So whether that means buying a house together, moving in together, getting married, for those of you who are in a committed relationship, again, you're going to want to kind of pay attention and look at the fine print before you just go right for the first thing, because it sounds like a good opportunity or something awesome being presented to you, right? You want to really look at the fine print and pay attention to those little details in case something causes an issue. Now, for those of you who are single, again, same rhetoric in the sense of you really just kind of want to wait a little bit before you just dive right in, as I mentioned. Okay. Not again that this isn't going to work out, because I definitely see this connection. I sense chemistry here. It's a really strong sense that I'm getting. But the main background message here that I feel like why it was so urgent is because it is really wanting you to at least get the full picture before you just dive right in. Okay. Now I do want to pull some extra messages for you. So we are using the Sea Melody Oracle deck, and we're going to see if there are any extra messages for you guys. So we've got a couple. All right. So we have perseverance, stay the course. Okay. So stay on track. Next one we have is take the helm, be in control of your own ship. Okay. And then we have empathy. There's more beneath the surface. Okay. So this would explain, I think, why this is telling you to wait for important information, because there's more than what you are initially seeing. Okay. So again, as we talked about, you don't want to just dive right into the first thing just because it sounds really good, right? Not that it isn't. Okay. I definitely really want to emphasize that. Not that this isn't a really good outcome. It's just you might get your hopes up in certain areas of the situation because you just, went right for it with no questions asked. Okay. So obviously you want to kind of stay on track, stay the course, but you need to be in kind of charge of the situation. Don't allow the allure, if you will, of the situation kind of take the lead. Instead, you do so. You realize or ask the questions that you need to, or really just kind of take your time to get the information that you need, because you might be surprised. There might be something that might give a little bit of a red flag, and you want to kind of sit on that first before you make a decision that you, could possibly, I don't want to say regret, but one that you could just be like, oh, I probably should have waited, for that, or whatnot. So group 2, that was your quick message. As I mentioned, this was definitely a quick little reading here. This was something that you needed to hear. I definitely hope this resonated with you guys. If it did, please let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and consider giving it a thumbs up, as it truly helps out the channel. I want to thank you so much for watching, and we're going to move on to pile number 3. Hi, group 3. So if you selected the Tiger's Eye crystal, then this is your reading. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right in and see what messages you have. So the first card that we have is your tarot card, and this is the Ten of Swords. Next we have is Journey, followed by Regret. Interesting. Next, we have the Armadillo Spirit, set healthy boundaries. And we have the Arrow, surround yourself with protective energy. Okay. Ooh, okay. Group 3. You guys have, I feel like this is pretty straightforward. A lot of what's being presented here. So let me just make sure I get these all into frame, just so that way you can better see the cards. Okay. So this is interesting in the sense that you guys have the Ten of Swords here, just to kind of start us off with your tarot card. Now, the Ten of Swords usually deals with a sense of completion, usually the ending of something that has really weighed very heavily on you. This could have been very emotionally, mentally, what's the word I'm looking for? Just heavy. Heavy's, I mean, obviously, as you can see with the card here, I mean, obviously this guy doesn't look too good, right? Just having all of these swords right in his back. And in a sense, it can feel like an ultimate betrayal for some, okay? And that's what I feel like you are kind of feeling in this situation here, group 3, in the sense that you might feel like you were stabbed in the back, or you were betrayed, or something happened here that just, you don't quite understand how you got there or how this even happened. Okay. And dealing with this, even though, like I mentioned, this could just feel very heavy, or it can just feel like, you're ready to just kind of let go of this. You don't want to feel this anymore. That's kind of what the main message is here for you guys, okay? This is basically telling you you need to release the past, okay? That the past is no longer going to serve you. You're at the end of your rope, so to speak. A 10 is actually a really good card because this means you've reached the end of your cycle. So now you can allow something new to come in. Okay, you no longer have to hold yourself back from the pain or the anguish or things that have kind of gotten you to this point. Okay, instead, you can pick yourself up and learn from the situation and move on. Okay, and that's kind of what the main message is here. Okay, now it's interesting here too, as well as you have journey. So the journey card really kind of emphasizes the fact that this is just part of your journey. This isn't your whole life. This isn't, um, this whole situation doesn't define who you are. It's just a part of your journey. Unfortunately, some parts are sad and difficult to go through, and some are going to be harder than others. But this is just a part in which you are traveling through. And again, you don't have to necessarily stay stuck there. Okay. Now, the regret card. I do want to read this just so that way we can kind of have a little bit more clarity. So this says, I know that I cannot change the past. Okay. So if you are having feelings of regret, regretting that you even met this person, if this has to deal with a relationship, or the fact that you even put yourself in this situation, or whatever it may be, knowing that you cannot change what happened, instead of dwelling on the past, as I mentioned before, it's better to just realize, accept it happened, and now what can you do to move on from that? Okay, so this is really what your message is trying to emphasize with you, that it recognizes that you were hurt. It recognizes that you were dealing with a very stressful and probably very disheartening situation that, kind of left you feeling stuck or even crippled, so to speak, emotionally, um, mentally even. And so this is reminding you that instead of just wallowing in, like, how did this happen? Why did this happen? It's now time to realize that unfortunately it did. You cannot change how it happened or what happened. Instead, you can now focus on your future. Okay. So with your animal oracle spirit, you have the armadillo, and this is all about setting healthy boundaries. Okay. So again, if this means that you were having to walk away from a individual or people, whoever you maybe were in a relationship with, or people that you associated yourselves with, this is just telling you that you need to set boundaries that are healthy for you, in a way that you're not going to feel this way. You're not going to feel stabbed in the back. You're not going to feel, this anguish anymore, from these individuals or individual that you are associating this feeling with. Okay. So setting a healthy boundary for yourself is what's going to help you be able to move past the situation or find a way to start a new journey for yourself. Okay. Now, the last card that you have here is the arrow. So it says surround yourself with protective energy. Okay. So again, this is very similar to the armadillo spirit in that it's wanting you to create healthy boundaries and protective energy. Okay. So you want to be able to protect yourself, no longer put yourself in harm's way, because you've been through it. You've been feeling very hurt, as of recently. Like, this is just, it feels very raw still, but as I mentioned, you're at the end, you're at the completion of it. So this no longer has to be something that you carry with you over and over. You've reached your breaking point, and now it's time, as I mentioned, to move forward. Okay. So whatever it is that you need to do to help you move past or move on, the message here is really just trying to emphasize just that. Okay. So I do want to pull you some extra oracle cards. These are the Sea Melody Oracle. So we're going to see if there's any additional messages for you. All right. First one flew out. We have change. All right. So know when to move to a new shell, especially if yours no longer fits. Exactly. Okay. Now you know that it's time to move on. Okay. There's no more, there's no point in sitting around and dwelling on why or how. Instead, it's time to move forward. Okay. Next, we have communicate. Things left unsaid will never reach the shore. Okay. So if in order for you to move on, if you need to communicate and express yourself or your feelings, do that. If this is what's going to help you set those healthy boundaries and say, you know what, I need to get this off my chest, or I need you to know this is how I feel in order for you to move on to get some closure, then that's what you need. Okay. All right. So last one. We have wild, believe in your otherworldly beauty, dance with the waves, and drink in the sunshine. Okay. So this is all kind of about stepping back into your truth, into who you are. Okay. You are somebody who is beautiful, who, should celebrate your individuality, who you are. Don't allow somebody to darken, your sunshine. Okay. Find a way to be able to move past this, so then that way you can feel like yourself again. All right. So group 3, that was your reading. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below if this resonated with you. Again, this was just a quick little message for you guys, something that you needed to hear. Again, if this resonated, I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and consider giving it a thumbs up. I would truly appreciate it. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And we are going to move on to our final group. Hi, group 4. So if you selected the clear quartz, then this is your reading. So we're going to go ahead and get started and see what your message is. So you guys have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. We have cornucopia, courage, the hawk spirit, let spirit be your guide. And we have she-wolf, unleash the wild within. Ooh, I love that. Okay, so let's make sure we've got these in frame. Okay, group 4. So this is pretty interesting because we've got, I feel like, a couple things going on here. So I'm going to start here with your tarot card. So you guys have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So the 10 of Pentacles in reverse can signify a couple different things. One of these things meaning that things might just feel, very content right now, being that, home life, finances, things like that are pretty secure, pretty solid. And you might be experiencing a sense of boredom and the sense of like, okay, what do I do next? How can I, what should my next goal be? What should my next, what is it that I should go after next? Okay. Because sometimes when we get to a point where we feel fulfilled, where things just, are pretty good, we tend to just kind of get, I don't want to say necessarily bored, but, things just kind of don't seem as exciting. And so it can be a little difficult just to try to figure out what you want to do next or how things can get better, if you will. Now, I know that would seem like a great problem to have to a lot of people. And, it's definitely for some, it's not for all. Okay. But the other main thing about this is that things can feel very out of sorts, meaning that finances might not be the greatest thing for you. It might be a little bit of a struggle right now, and you're trying really hard to get to this cornucopia, to get this back in the upright, okay, where things are good, where money's coming in, you're, reaching your abundance, you're reaching your success, things like that. And so it could just be signifying, like I said, a couple different things where there's just something missing, is what I feel like is the ultimate thing. Something is missing from your happiness, your success, okay? Now, it doesn't always have to be specifically money or anything 100% materialistic, but because we are dealing with the pentacles and we are dealing with cornucopia here, this does tend to speak of abundance. Okay, so for many of you, I feel like the main message here is that you're trying to seek this cornucopia. Your ultimate goal is to get, this financial security, or to feel, secure financially or just independently, but you're not quite there yet. Things just still seem unattainable. Okay. Now, many of you might just be in your early stages of your manifestation. So if that's the case, keep your eye on the prize. You really have to kind of focus on what it is that you want and how it is that, and just kind of focus on how you're going to get there. That really needs to be kind of like the main forefront right now, especially if you're having a difficult time. And it's normal. It's normal, especially when things don't happen as quickly as we want them to, or as the way that we envision them to. Sometimes the universe has a bigger plan for us. So a lot of this is kind of reminding you to kind of just trust in spirit, trust in yourself, that things are going to be okay. Okay. So we do have the courage card here as well. And this says, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Okay. So yeah. So if you're very fearful of the unknown, which many people are, heck, I'm even fearful of the unknown many times. If that's what you find, that you don't know if this is even a possibility or how you're going to get there, that's normal. Okay. This is just reminding you to have courage, to have a little bit more confidence in yourself, that things are going to be okay, that you are going to get yourself where you want to be. You're going to reach this cornucopia. Okay. Every sense of abundance that you've been working towards, or that you're wanting for your life, that thing that's missing, that missing link that you don't have, you're going to get it. Especially for those of you who feel like, I've got, money's not really an issue, or my family, family's good, things like that, but something's missing. It's going to come to you. Something is going to, you're going to have that aha moment of like, oh my gosh, that's what I was needing. That's what I was wanting, but it's just having that little bit of confidence within yourself to get you there. Okay. Now, the hawk spirit is interesting too, because this reminds you to let spirit be your guide. Okay, so this is, again, all about trusting in the universe, trusting in your intuition, that things are going to work in your favor. Okay, you just kind of have to let will, let will be will, I guess, if you will. That things are going to kind of happen as they are. Okay. Now, the last card that you have here is the she-wolf, and this says, unleash the wild within. So what I feel like the main meaning with this is that this is really kind of just you showing your true authentic self, like not being afraid to go after your dreams, or not being afraid to go after what it is that you were wanting. Okay. So oftentimes we tend to limit ourselves, because even though we have these wants or these desires, when it comes to trying to do better for ourselves, we tend to get in our own way out of fear, out of, I don't think that I can, you set these limiting beliefs on yourself, and you end up not reaching this point. Okay. And then that's where things over here tend to be out of sorts, or, out of balance, because in a way you're kind of in your own way. Okay, so again, just kind of not be afraid of the unknown, or, of your capability, really. This is just kind of having faith and courage to step up into the situation. Okay, now I do want to pull you guys some extra cards here. These are some extra messages from the Sea Melody Oracle. I'm going to see if we can get a couple more for you guys. Extra messages for group 4. Messages. Okay, so the first one that we have is safety. Don't be too proud to go back to shore. Okay. Oh, okay. So this one is pretty interesting. So this is telling you, like, not to be afraid to step into your own. Like, trust that you are okay, that there's nothing to be afraid of, is really kind of how I interpret this, especially with that courage card there. I feel like this is just reminding, like, you don't have to be afraid of anything. Like, you are safe, like you are stronger than you give yourself credit Okay, so let's see who else we have. We have perseverance, stay the course. Absolutely. So stay on track, especially if you're trying to manifest and work towards this goal that you have. As I mentioned, like this is just reminding you to do that. Okay. And then the last one that we have is dance. Take inspiration from the moonlight dancing on the surface of the sea. Okay. So what I love about this card, anytime that it pops up, is not only does it, I like it to, or I like to think that it means physically dancing because, you know, sometimes it's good to just like let loose. But I feel like this is just reminding you to kind of like let your hair down. Like, don't be afraid to show the world the real you. As you have here, the she-wolf, like unleash the wild within. Don't be afraid to be your true authentic self. Don't be afraid to go after your dreams or your goals. You know, this is the time to do that and to not stress yourself out in the process. Okay. This is something that should happen, you know, organically, something naturally. You know, focus on your manifestation and that's it. You know, don't stand in your own way. Instead, just kind of enjoy life as it is, and things will start to fall into place for you. Okay. So group 4, that was your reading. Definitely let me know in the comment section down below if this resonated with you. I would love to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and consider giving it a thumbs up, as it truly helps out the channel. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this quick little video. If you guys enjoy something like this and you want to see more of these like quick messages videos, please let me know in the comments and I'd be happy to get these out. This was actually really fun just to do something, you know, like one card each. I felt like it was pretty straightforward, pretty straight to the point, which is what I really like. Don't get me wrong, I love doing my normal pick of cards the way that I do them normally, but this is something a little bit different. So if you guys enjoyed it, definitely let me know, and I would love to do more of these for you guys. Okay, so I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening, day, night, wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.